$9 Mondays over at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com. Get any best bet or daily package for only $9.
Hey, Teddy Covers, we're live. I'm Lawrence Presman, the Prez. We're watching Wager Talk today. Well, we're not. We're doing it. You guys are. A happy Monday to you all. Teddy, Marco D'Angelo, right off the top. We're going to talk to him about tweeting etiquette and the Super Bowl. A nice look ahead. We've already seen some lines moving. And then you and I are going to talk a little bit about the week was in the NFL later on. And, of course, your big game breakdown. What do you got for us today?
Talk NBA tonight, Lakers and Cavs in Cleveland. And, of course, we'll close out the show. Ralph Michaels doing his TNA like he does each and every day here on Wager Talk Today.
Excellent stuff. Well, let's get to the lead story, Teddy. So much drama yesterday, and we'll get into some of it a little later in the show. But really, from my perspective, put betting aside for a second. Can somebody explain to me why Green Bay kicked a field goal with 2.4 on the clock? I know they had all their timeouts. I get it. But it wasn't like their defense was shutting Tampa Bay down. That might have been the single most confusing play call I've ever seen. You're going to disagree.
It wasn't the only one in the game.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't close to being the only one in the game. In fact, there were 4 sequences for Green Bay. They all turned out to be exactly the same 3-play sequences throughout the course of the game. All right. The first one, they're down 14-7. All right. They've been running the football, great drive downfield, 1st and goal. What do? Incomplete pass, incomplete pass, incomplete pass, field goal. Instead of 14 all, it's 14-10. Then, second half, okay, Brady throws a pick. It's a 3-point game at the time after the 2-point conversion drop. Brady throws a pick. All the momentum is with Green Bay. What do? Incomplete pass, incomplete pass, incomplete pass, punt. Then Brady does it again, throws another pick. What do? Sack, incomplete pass, punt. Then at the very end of the game, they've got a chance. And again, 1st and goal. All right. Incomplete pass, incomplete pass, incomplete pass, field goal. I can't justify the field goal. Okay. I more than that can't justify the play calling. This is all on Matt LaFleur. Okay. You have a balanced offense. You ran the football effectively. You have a bully of a couple of bully backs in the backfield. And 4 different times you have momentum, the ball, and 4 different times incomplete kick. I mean, there's no justifying it, let alone the defensive meltdown before halftime that they literally, here's a touchdown, you guys can have it. That was on Pettit and the defensive play calling. But it was Green Bay's coaching staff that did them in yesterday more than any other factor. And obviously at the end of the game, I can't justify it. I can't explain it. And the quotes from LaFleur after the game were just as maddening. Not that the Packers were the right side. Okay, they weren't. But they had a chance to go to the Super Bowl, and the coaching staff let them down.
Yeah, Teddy, listen, I don't have a major problem with the 3 passing attempts at the end of the game. I felt like it was good in the sense that if they did miss on 4th down, they kept that play clock stopped and they had a chance to get the ball back. Doing it 4 times in a row, utter idiocy. But at the end of the game, I didn't really have an issue with that. As well, I put this on LaFleur all you want, but Aaron Rodgers could have moseyed on in for a touchdown on that 3rd down. And then he decided instead of running it in. And Aaron Rodgers is not afraid to run the ball into the end zone. He threw to double coverage Whole thing made no sense, but we're going to get into it a little deeper towards the end of the show. Guys, Marco D'Angelo up now. And, well, this dude is so hot, he makes Kate Upton look ugly. Marco, a beautiful 5% cash yesterday. Over. You needed a little help from the Prez, and he got it there for you. You're also on a 13-2 all sports run. You didn't need any help from the Prez on 12 of those 13 wins, but we're here today. We're together, and I am waiting for you to thank me publicly.
Thank you. I should be bashing you up alongside the head is what I should be doing, Prez. How long have you been in this business? You crossed over the worst etiquette on Twitter. You never talk about a game looking good before it's in the win column. Never, ever, ever, ever. And at halftime,
okay. So for the record, everybody listening, I said the game was looking okay, not good. I used my words correctly, and it was okay. It was at 31 at the half, or 30 at the half, whatever it was okay. And then you just went nuts.
Because you piss off the gambling gods when you do stuff like that. When somebody's pitching a no-hitter, you don't sit there. There's a reason the pitcher's at the end of the bench by himself and nobody's talking to him when a pitcher's pitching a no-hitter. You don't walk up to him in the seventh inning and go, hey, wow, things are going pretty good. Okay. Go out there. Get 3 more outs.
Did the game go over?
We got the win, so everything's okay.
That's because I paid homage to the gambling gods.
Yeah.
And then I had to apologize to them privately for you pissing them off. Oh, my God. Marco D'Angelo, everyone. Dude, what an unbelievable run you were on. Just all around. You got to be doing something different. Are you eating less chicken wings?
Actually, I haven't had chicken wings in a week, believe it or not. That's hard to believe, but
that could be it.
It's just 20.
No more chicken wings.
No, that's not going to be, the norm. Let me tell you that. But 2021's been good. I'm probably going to throw 21. The reason we're off to a great start, and I like 21 so much is my favorite baseball player of all time wore number 21. So, maybe that is the reason for 2021 being a good start for me, and being of Pittsburgh heritage. You could probably figure out that famous baseball player.
Marco, let's get into it, brother. Kansas City, they're playing Tampa Bay. We're going to look ahead. We've got 13 games to go, lots still to change, but we have, originally, like right off the bat, it came out with Kansas City at -3.5. It's been bet down. It's at 3, but there's a ton of juice on it still. -120 at some places, 123 at others. We saw 57 right off the bat. Been bet down as well. There's now 56 at most places, 56.5. I'll go to you first, Marco, and let's just focus on where we think the line's going to go. So where do you think the line's going to go?
Well, being that the look-ahead line prior to this week's games did have Kansas City as a 3-point favorite over Tampa. So here we are right where, the look-ahead line was. So did either of the two teams look more impressive yesterday? Probably the takeaway is going to be Kansas City looked more impressive than Tampa, only because of all the things that happened late in that game. With the 3 turnovers that Brady had, very uncharacteristic, let Green Bay have a chance to get back in the game. So it looked, questionable of how dominant Tampa Bay was. But I'll tell you what, through the first 2.5 quarters of that game, it was total domination by Tampa Bay. Kudos to them, Bruce Arians in his, game plan, and, Tom Brady. And then uncharacteristically, I can't can't fathom 3 turnovers by Brady in a situation when they were up that big. If you would have said he would have thrown 3 interceptions, I would have, not watching the game, I would have figured that Tampa was behind and that he was forced to throw, not a situation where they had the lead and he's throwing and coughing up the ball like that. So that was a big surprise. As far as Kansas City goes, they were impressive. All week we didn't know the condition of Mahomes, but I told you, if I could find a place to bet if he was starting or not, I would bet everything I had that he was going to play in that game, and he played absolutely perfect football. If you take out the one big run for Kansas City, the 50-yard run, they really only had, not a great day running the football. But the thing about Kansas City is take a page out of the playbook from the old New England Patriots and, Belichick. Their short passing game is an extension of the running game. And, how many times were they just hitting 7 and 8 yard pass plays and immediately the receivers were going down? It was basically a running play. And that's how you keep the opposing team off the field. So I was impressed with Kansas City yesterday more so. The home field advantage, that's going to be a question that, Teddy, this is something we've never had. Do you give Tampa any edge at all playing in their stadium in this situation, and given the year that it's not going to be a full stadium?
Prez? Teddy?
Yeah,
Marco
no,
just
you
asked
wanted to ask me. I was going to.
Yeah, but Marco just asked you a question, Teddy. Show some
All right, well,
respect.
you like to let me go next.
Show some respect to our guests. Marco asks you a question, you answer, and you answer with yes, sir, Marco. Yes, sir. You are the boss, sir. Whatever you want, sir. Now go, Teddy.
So what was the question?
Do you think there is a home field advantage?
Yes.
Playing at home in the Super Bowl?
I do. And I think it's worth that's at least part of the reason why this line didn't hold at 3.5 or hasn't held at 3.5. That you have to give Tampa something for playing in the field they played in all year. You have to, whether it's a half point, whether it's a point, you have to give them something. And that's why I was very surprised to see the 3.5s at the open and didn't expect them to last, because it's Tom Brady at home in the Super Bowl. And that as a narrative is going to attract enough action to keep this line at 3. Maybe it's 3 with juice, but, and again, there's still, there are a handful of 3.5s out there right now, mostly a couple in the global marketplace, a couple here in Vegas. We'll call the shops that are hanging 3.5s right now, we'll call them shops that cater to recreational bettors. They're not the shops that cater to the sharp money. The sharp money is going to be at 3 with juice in this game. It's not going back to 3.5. In part because of the Bucs playing at home.
So, Teddy, bottom line, you believe that the line is going to stay at 3, right? Give or take juice right up until game time?
If you want plus 3.5, I would get that right away.
Okay. That's a roundabout way to answer my question, and you didn't answer it with yes, sir. Marco, you feel the same way, 3 all the way to the end?
I think with most of the shops in Vegas, with the exception of South Point, is a book that will not move the juice on a game. There you will see, possibly the bouncing of back and forth of the 3 and the 3.5. I do not see this going to 2.5. The books are just not going to do that. They'll move the juice heavily to try to slow that down. You don't want to have a 2.5 sitting out there on this game in the Super Bowl. So I think the number you're going to see is 3. It's going to be what day of the week you bet it, whether you're going to be getting it at a 110 price or if you're going to get it juiced, depending how the ping pong match goes back and forth with the people betting the two sides. I think this will be a two-way bet game. There's going to be the narrative of Brady. What a story. You couldn't draw a movie script up better than what this has landed for Brady to end up in the Super Bowl. And, you've seen all the memes out there already. They're not wasting any time. It's the GOAT versus the baby GOAT with Brady and Mahomes. And it's going to be a fun 2 weeks leading up to it. the NFL was happy with this matchup. Let me just say that. They are definitely happy with the two teams that they ended up getting there. And it would have still been a story with Rodgers, but this is a better script to write to talk about for 2 weeks, in my opinion.
Marco D'Angelo joining us, 13-2 all sports run, 16-4, is it, in NFL?
NFL and college. That's all football for 2021, 16-4.
Excellent stuff. Guys, let's talk about the total real quick. We have had a small line move to the under. Both games went over yesterday. Both games went over, and both games actually went over this crazy number of 56.5. Kansas City played already this year, 27-24 win. Do you think this game is going to be bet down, Marco?
This is going to be for me, what I see is what we see every year pretty much in the Super Bowl. You get the first number, you get a little bit of reaction from some sharps early. As we build up to the Super Bowl and the public gets involved, and generally, and I don't know how much that's going to be this year because of COVID and people not wanting to travel, but, Friday of Super Bowl week, this town, you look at the airport and people are just coming from everywhere. It's always been a big weekend for Vegas. That's not going to be this year. The books are not having the big Super Bowl parties because of restrictions with the size of gatherings and everything. So you're not going to get that big influx of tourist money come in, but there still will be a ton of people that this will be the only game they bet all year. And nobody wants to bet an under, okay? The average player is not going to come up and bet the under. So you'll see this total creep up during the week leading up to the Super Bowl. And then as you usually see, the sharps will come in and buy it back at its highest point. You'll see a tick down on game day. We always see that. Same way with the props, Prez. You'll see all of the over props get bet. The sharps will bet everything as soon as they come out. Then they'll let all of these numbers migrate again. And then you'll see on game day a lot of buybacks on unders on key player props because they want to take the value. Again, John Q. Public doesn't like to bet unders. It's just human nature.
Teddy, thoughts on the total and where it might go?
Sure. I'll talk about the total in just a minute, but there's something that I'm going to disagree on with Marco. Because Marco said that we're not going to see the influx of money coming in for the Super Bowl and here in Las Vegas. And I think we still will. Even if it's not through the airport, we don't have as many flights into town. They're going to drive in from Arizona. They're going to drive in from California. They're going to drive in from Utah. The books will be busy. The casinos will be busy. And there will be plenty of public action here in Vegas on the Super Bowl. It may not be as jam-packed as a normal Super Bowl weekend would be here in Vegas, but it's certainly not going to be an average weekend. It's a Super Bowl weekend in town. And I think we will see a fair bit of money come in as a result. There's one other, and Marco, I thought you said your description of the total was perfect. Wise guy's going to come in and play right off the bat. Total's going to sit there and gradually go up. And then as we approach kickoff, we'll see another wise guy move on many of these totals. However, this is something that has definitely changed during the time that I've been in Vegas. Back in the day, the guys would be running around Sunday morning, betting all the unders and betting all the unders. Nowadays, they're betting that earlier because other guys come in earlier because there's so much public money coming on Friday. I wouldn't wait until game day if you want to take advantage of some of those. I would bet those Friday or Saturday of Super Bowl week as opposed to Super Bowl Sunday, because when you talk about the money flow, the money definitely the flow of the money has changed over the course of the last 25 years. And we do see more sharp action earlier in the weekend or with some buyback on these numbers. So when it comes to this total, we're looking at 56 right now as the prevailing number across the board. It was 57 last night. Do I anticipate a significant move on this total? I don't, Prez. I think it bounces around 56, 57 for the next 13 days. in this general range. And again, if you shop around, maybe you find a 55.5. If you shop around, maybe you find a 57.5. You're in the right place at the right time. But this isn't a total that is going to drop like a rock, and it's not a total that's going to get any higher than the opening number, where the wise guy said that's a little bit too high. So I don't anticipate any significant move from here, side or total, between now and kickoff. That said, I do think the Chiefs, it is a two-way action game, but the Chiefs, the defending Super Bowl champs, and they look good in the last game everybody just saw. So from early indication, KC is a slightly more public side than Tampa Bay, which creates some interesting questions when it comes to the money line for the Super Bowl.
Boys, thanks for joining us, Marco. WagerTalk Today, everybody. Marco, Tom Brady, he has played this coming Super Bowl. He has played 18% of all Super Bowls. I mean, how insane is that?
It is, and that's why he's the GOAT. But there's a baby GOAT in the building, so we'll see what happens. It'll be exciting 2 weeks leading up to it. We're going to hear all the storylines, and like I said, you couldn't write a movie script better than what we've got.
Teddy, you want to talk money lines? Let's save it for after the break. Marco, you're the best. Guys, literally a 20-second break. We're right back. Teddy and I talk a little bit more NFL football, a big game breakdown still coming in hoops. And, of course, Ralph Michaels. And also, everybody, Matthew Barnaby is joining us on tomorrow's show. Teddy and I wanted to talk NFL today. Marco, I love you, man. Keep rolling. Keep rocking. Keep off of those chicken wings. I'm telling you, it's the reason why you've barely lost a game. Do not eat a chicken wing until the run is done. Later, brother, and we'll see you all in 20 seconds.
Every Monday is $9 Mondays over at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com. Get any best bet or daily package for only $9.
It's time for Little Bad Beats, Bad Bets, and Bad for the Books, a recap of what happened in the betting world. I didn't go the whole weekend. There was enough happened yesterday. They don't need to go back to Friday and Saturday. Goodness gracious. Let's talk about the two NFL games. First, the Bucs and Packers. Look, there was sharp money and square money on Green Bay. Light, not heavy. It was a two-way action game. Means it was good for the house. But then there was Tampa money before kickoff. The Bucs money took out all the plus fours and many of the plus 3.5s. It was a two-way action game. The game went over, not so great for the house, but overall I would call it a small win for the Bucs, a modest win. It is worth noting that the Tampa Bay Super Bowl futures liability is greater than any other team at most books. Remember, they opened long shots before they got Brady. So those Bucs Super Bowl futures, something to think about when it comes to how books manage their liability. Chiefs Bills, there was ample public money for Buffalo and their betting bandwagon. Pretty good result for the house. The game went over the total, not so great for the house. But again, two-way action game, both side and total, KC Buffalo. So the two NFL games, modest wins for the books, but nothing that really stood out. When it comes to bad bets, there were a couple of them yesterday. There was nothing but Charlotte money in the NBA. Hornets from plus 1.5 to -2 at Orlando. No Aaron Gordon for the Magic. Hornets trailed the whole game. They were down 12 in the fourth. Then they go on a huge run to go up 9. Then they blow the lead. And then Gordon Hayward hits a layup to go up 2 with 0.0 seconds left. You have plus 2 in your pocket. You feel great. Oh, but then the Magic get called for a 5-second inbound penalty. Charlotte gets the ball and Hayward gets fouled with 0.1 seconds left. Hits 1 of 2. The Hornets win by 3. If you got the best of the number with Orlando, that was absolutely brutal. Mark Richmond on Twitter sent me this one. I didn't see that. I didn't see it live. The highlights just brutal. Blazers -4 against the Knicks. Portland's up 13 after 1. They're up 20 after 2. They're up 13 with less than 5 to play in the fourth. The last 30 seconds were insane. 106-102 under, become 116-113 in the last 30 seconds. Yes, that's 21 points in 30 seconds. Emmanuel quickly hits 3 free throws and then goes end-to-end with less than a second left on the clock. Knicks only lose by 3. Portland, ooh, that was tough. Then, of course, in the NHL, Edmonton, Winnipeg, the total 6.5. It's 2-1 with 7 minutes left in the third period. You know that game went over in regulation. The game-winning goal literally with 1 second left. Bad bets. Well, there was no Siakam, no Lowry for Toronto. The Pacers got bet up for -1, -4.5. Indiana's not playing good basketball right now. Raptors, wire to wire, win outright. The Wizards' money yesterday, I have no idea why. They hadn't played in 2 weeks. They were +7 down to +5.5. The Spurs ran them out late in the fourth. A 5-point game with 5 minutes left, but the team with no conditioning ended up getting outscored by 15 in those last 5 minutes. The San Antonio wins by 20. They bet the over as well, 230 up to 233. Stayed double digits under. Both those bad for the books. In college, well, speaking of bad bets, Nevada -3 to -5. Short turnaround revenge at Wyoming. Wyoming beat them again. And the Washington Huskies from +3 to +5. They beat Utah outright. Washington getting better. Bad for the books. There was no Trae Young, no Clint Capella for Atlanta yesterday. The Bucs from -9 to -12. Game went back and forth over the number the final 2 minutes, but the Hawks' last 3 possessions, turnover, missed 3-pointer. They lose by 14. One more bad for the books worth mentioning. The College Hoops Wise Guy special yesterday. Delaware. The Hens from +5 up to +2.5 down to +2.5 at NC Wilmington. Delaware wins outright by 5. There you have it. Bad beats, bad bets, and bad for the books. Back to you, El Presidente.
Teddy covers outstanding job. Guys, welcome to the show. It's going to be a great week. We got an awesome lineup organized tomorrow's show. Matthew Barnaby, 15-year NHL veteran and a really savvy sports bettor. We're going to talk to him about some hockey picks and Dave Sherapan as well. I want to welcome in Adam, Smiling Faces, Johnny K, Frenchie Betts, Garrick, Yoshi, Johnny Outlaw, Ardo, and on and on and on. We really appreciate you guys being here. 370 of you watching, 84 likes. Guys, please, it takes 1.12 seconds to hit that like button. We really appreciate both Teddy and I. And Teddy, like, I gotta point out some runs, man. Like, it's actually what's going on right now at Wager Talk January 2021. Guys are just absolutely killing it. I mean, we got Bobby Liggs on a 14-4 NBA run. I've started the NHL season 13-4. Dave Koken, 13-3 college basketball run. Tokyo Brandon, 17-9 Chinese basketball. And on. Kevin Dolan, 14-4 in rugby. Carmine, 35-10 run in tennis. There's just no business in our space better than WagerTalk.com. Nobody with better handicappers, nobody with better content. Today's lineup, Teddy, we got you doing an opening line report with Drew?
You know it.
And then the college basketball show, the NBA show. We had the hockey show at 11 a.m. Just outstanding. Teddy, let's talk a little bit of NFL football. Let's talk about that money line right off the bat on the Super Bowl. And right now, -170 to Kansas City. You know, the money line is interesting because it moves around a lot. I mean, there are times where you could find it down at around -145, 150, and all the way up to -190. I think if you are going to bet Kansas City on the money line, I think at -170, this is the best number you're going to find.
No, I disagree strongly. First of all, right now you can find -165 at multiple books. So if you're laying -170, you haven't even shopped around and looked at your Wager Talk live odds screen to find the book that has the best of the number. So -165s are widely available as we speak. So anyone that's laying -170, that's a bad bet when there's -165s widely available. Then when you think about how the Super Bowl betting works, and this is a distortion in the betting markets that comes with the fact that the Super Bowl attracts more casual bettors than any other event. All right. Everybody wants to bet on the Super Bowl. What happens when everyone wants to bet? People don't want point spreads. They don't talk about the point spreads. They look at the underdog and they want the underdog to win. So what you see in Vegas consistently, when bettors come in, they will lay the points with the favorite and they will take the underdog on the money line. As a result, the money line gets distorted over the course of the next week. And right now, it's still priced appropriately. A week from now, it won't be. A week from now, if you want Tampa Bay on the money line, you're not going to be getting plus 150 like you can find as we speak right now. Those will be wiped out because the bettors that the casual bettors that come in once a year and bet the Super Bowl, they're betting on a team to win, not to cover. So the minus 170, you will see better than that. The minus 165, you are likely to see better than that unless the broader markets move back to KC minus 3.5, which I don't necessarily see happening. The minus 165 / plus 150, those are prices that one would anticipate more Tampa money on the money line, therefore a cheaper price to lay with KC.
Teddy, firstly, I picked minus 170 because it was pretty close to the consensus line. More books had it. Obviously, there's minus 158s out there. But
where?
I don't agree, man.
Where's the 158?
We have a customer tell us there's a 158 in the UK. As far as our live feed goes, no 158. Lowest is 165, 62, 162 at DraftKings. Teddy, I don't know, man. I'm not with you. I think there's money coming in on Kansas City on the money line. I think it's going to offset what you're saying. I'm prepared to make a small wager that next Monday the money line will be higher than 165.
Well, first of all, you said the money line was minus 170. So any wager we're going to make is going to be at that price.
Then let's do it. Minus 170.
Secondly,
what's the wager?
I don't want next Monday. I want next Friday.
Fine. Next Friday.
Bet.
What's the wager?
How much you want? Yeah. Whatever you want.
No, I don't want money.
No.
I want you. I will do the
stupid?
show in a suit and you'll do it in a t-shirt.
I can't do the show in a t-shirt. I look like I got a pigeon chest, dude. It doesn't look good.
Okay, fine. We'll come up with something. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Teddy, where was the turning point in the Kansas City Bills game? The actual, the moment it turned.
So KC is like a fighter that doesn't start to fight till they taste their own blood. The turning point was when he muffed the punt and then they got the cheap touchdown and went up 9. The turning point was the missed extra point. When it went up 9-0, KC was wide awake. KC woke up and the game was and again, if you had a Chiefs ticket, they were down. By the time it was 9-7, you felt like Kansas City was going to win and cover that game. I really thought the turning point was KC getting punched and I got blood in my mouth and punching back. As soon as the Chiefs scored that first touchdown, it was fine. So I don't know. What do you think the turning point was, Prez?
The turning point was Devin Singletary turning his head upfield a split second before the ball was cradled into his chest. Buffalo lets Kansas come down to score. They're still winning. They've got the ball at the 50-yard line. It's second down. They throw a wheel route to the wide receiver on the right side. Dead perfect throw right into his basket with tons of open space. First down puts them in field goal position. Instead, he turns his head, drops the ball, third down sack, game over. That was the turning point of the game from my perspective, because I feel like Buffalo would have had a chance to punch back. It would have given them that, okay, they score, we can score feeling. I think that drop pass was absolutely the key to Kansas City putting their foot on the pedal.
Do you think it would have made any difference had Buffalo scored right there? Had Buffalo scored a touchdown right there? Do you think it would make any difference in the Super Bowl today? Because I don't. Once KC wakes up, they're a different team, and we've seen it, repeatedly in the postseason in recent years. They woke up, and I don't think it would have mattered. I don't think there was anything Buffalo could have done.
Sounds like Seabiscuit to me. I bet Tampa Bay to come out fast at the Super Bowl. The horses' eyes to see each other, and then voila, KC. Do you remember that movie?
I do, and I remember it's not a bad analogy to make. I think that the Chiefs sometimes, and clearly when you don't cover a spread for 10 weeks, the Chiefs get complacent. Kansas City plays their best after they get punched in the face.
That is for sure. And as far as the Green Bay game goes, what really stood out to me on both sides was the dropped balls. I mean, Green Bay missed, you spoke about bad play calling. There was missed touchdowns on dropped balls. And Brady's interceptions, a lot of the regular people are going to look and see 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. A couple of them were him just airing the ball out and hoping as opposed to punting on the next down. So I think they were slightly phony in that sense. What was the turning point in that game?
The turning point was when Green Bay kicked the field goal, down 14-7. They're first and goal. They're about to tie up the game. And actually, the turning point came the first down pass. Rodgers had Devontae Adams in the corner of the end zone, and Adams dropped the football. And then it went incomplete field goal. So maybe we say Devontae Adams not holding on to that pass because at 14-10, they had to trade scores there, and they didn't trade the score. And I thought they were playing catch up the rest of the way. Well, that and the blown coverage before halftime, and that and the fumble to open up the third quarter. I mean, there's 3 kind of plays that stand out.
The blown coverage at halftime is inexcusable. We used to have a Kanye West award back at the beginning of the show. If we had to give out a Kanye West award today, Chris King, dude. Oh my God. I mean, the pass interference call at the end of the game, and then that blown coverage.
Kevin King, you mean?
Kevin King. Chris King's an ex-hockey player.
Call a single penalty for like 3 quarters in that game. And I thought that Tampa Bay recognized that the refs were not calling anything earlier than Green Bay did. And if I'm King, I do the same thing. They're not calling anything. You have to cheat any way you can when they're not calling anything. And that play, it was so egregious. He held him literally with both hands. First with the left and then with the right, and the shirt pulled out, and you get called for that.
I got a buddy who's a Tom Brady fanatic, so he was like all happy. Dude, Lazard got badly interfered with on the interception play, and that was really a crucial moment in the game as well.
Yes, but they weren't calling those. And
no, they just
they're not calling them. Tampa's playmakers made plays, and Green Bay's playmakers didn't. All right, flat out. Fournette making that play. The catch that Evans had on the first drive, the catch that, Godwin's catch to set up the touchdown. The Tampa's playmakers made a lot more plays than Green Bay. Whereas Adams dropped a touchdown, Lazard got pushed around and then didn't undo didn't affect the interception, et cetera, et cetera. That's why the Bucs are going to be playing 2 weeks from now, and then the Packers are going to be home.
Teddy, let's get to the big game breakdown, and then Ralph Michaels, I hand the mic to you. Oh, music!
It's time for today's big game breakdown. Let's talk the Cavaliers and the Lakers in NBA action tonight. Looking at the WagerTalk live on screen just to make sure my numbers are accurate and current. Of course, I have it switched over to Moneyline now. We're looking right now 10.5 to 12.5 with the Lakers as road favorites. And look, I'll give the Lakers all kinds of credit. They haven't let the championship get to their heads. They've come out and looked focused. They've yet to lose on the road in 9 road games this season. They're tied for the best record in the NBA. From a power rating standpoint, I have the Clips 2 points better than any other NBA, or the Lakers 2 points better than the Clips. and any other team. And yet, today's the day to step in front of LA. All right. This is game 3 of a 7-game road trip, a grueling 7-game road trip. They beat the Bucs on Thursday, followed up with a win over the Bulls on Saturday. Up next, they have a challenge game in the 76ers. Then they have the Celtics coming this weekend. This is a clear look-ahead / letdown spot, and they're laying double digits. Okay, it's not an LA spot. Meanwhile, the Cavs, I mean, they got slapped around. Whew, that was an ugly game in Boston. You know, they won 3 in a row, and they gave up 141 points to the Celtics. It's worth noting, J.B. Bickerstaff pulled all of his key guys early yesterday. None of their key players. Drummond, Sexton back in the lineup right now. Garland's back in the lineup right now. Larry Nance, Cedi Osman, none of them played more than 18 minutes in the loss yesterday. So we have a motivated home dog who's been playing good basketball. They're relatively fresh for the second of back-to-backs. Cavs 5-2 straight up as home dogs this season. And there's lots of value with Cleveland at this price. Give me the Cavs plus 10.5 against the Lakers in Cleveland tonight.
Teddy, I loved the music there, man. That was awesome. I felt like it caught you a little off guard at the beginning there. Ralph Michaels, everyone. I know. Ralph Michaels, first 5% NBA play of the season. Tell us about it, my brother.
Well, as you guys know, while I'm very limited in NBA plays, I do the NBA stat sheet every day. We talk about some NBA angles here, do some NBA reading, and all of those things mixed together. And I have a 5% worthy play. And best part for the viewers, it's on Monday, so it's only $9 at WagerTalk.com.
Ralph Michaels, everybody, welcome to the show, brother. What do you got for us? Everyone, get pens ready. Start taking notes. It's Ralph Michaels.
Prez, you asked for it, so I gave it to you. You asked me last week. We talked about back-to-back games in the NHL playing the same opponent. We came up with some records. I have an update for those records. But you specifically said, Ralph, I want to know how teams that go over the first game, what they do in the second, and those situations. So let's take a look. First on the top are the recaps of what we talked about last week. So last week, when you play the back-to-back same opponent, the team that won the first game is now 18-22 in the second game. So it was 13-21. That record is 5-9. If you lost previously as a favorite in the first game, it was 8-2 last week, so it's gone 2-0. So if you lose as a favorite in game 1, if you're playing that same team again, you are now 10-2. What happens if you lose that first game as an away dog? You were the worst team. You're going to be the worst team again. Only 5-16. But look at the over-unders. If you are a favorite, you lost the previous game as a favorite, and now you're playing. What do better teams do? Likely play defense. 36% of those games have gone over the total, so 63.6% have gone under. And if you're a dog, if you're a bad dog and you lose the first game, you're still a bad dog in the second game. Why are you a bad dog? Likely bad defense. 14-6-1 to the over, 70%. So it seems we may have some correlation there. Losing as a favorite, you play that team and the under. You lose as an away dog, you fade that team again and play the over. We'll update that again next week and see exactly where they are. But Prez, you asked me about first teams in back-to-back games overs, first teams back-to-back games unders. How about this? Look at the blue shading. Did you know this? When NHL teams play each other back-to-back games, the second game has gone over 46 times and under only 32 times, 59%. That's pretty eye-opening right there. I don't think a lot of people knew that. Then I broke it down by how much the first game went over by or under. And there's certainly some anomalies. If the first game went over by a half, the teams are 8-2. But if the first game went over by a full goal, they're 0-6. And then you see the numbers again. So I'm not taking anything into those secondary numbers. Look at the bottom. If it went under by a half, it's 4-10. But if it went under by a whole goal, it's 10-0. There's so much randomness in there and what the line was, and did you find a 5.5 or did you find a 6? So I'm going to eliminate all that clutter and basically just say, year to date in this unique COVID season, when NHL teams play each other in back-to-back games, regardless of what happened the first game, they have gone over the total 59% of the time, going 46, 32, and 2. Prez, you're our hockey guy. Any thoughts on that? And is that what you had in your mind, knowing I was going to give you these numbers?
Yeah, I actually, it makes total sense, Ralph, especially considering a lot of these back-to-back games are second night games too, right? So it's not only a back-to-back game, it's literally the next day game. And their legs are tired, especially early on in the season where they haven't been playing for a long while. And tired legs create for more offense, not defense. In the NBA, it might be a little bit different, but always harder to chase someone around with a puck than it is to be the guy being chased. That's outstanding stuff, Ralph. 59% to the over on the second of back-to-back games. Ralph, before we get to the Friends with Ralph play, I want to apologize. I lost mine on Friday. I think I am 5-2 in the Friends with Ralph segment. But you know, man, I do not do well when I lose plays.
You know what? We're 9-3, and we'll take the positive out of this starting on Monday. Still very happy to be 75%. And I can equate that good record to this, guys. You know, I was using opinions earlier and some smaller plays, but the last couple of weeks when we went to actual client plays that people have used, you see the percentage at 9-3. So we'll take that. Kevin Dolan, 15-4 run in the NHL, 15-9-1 and run in soccer. A little birdie told me that Kevin Dolan may be the $2 capper tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. His play and an actual client play, I'll tell you what, guys, this is a play he's selling. So if you bought this play and you email WagerTalk, support at WagerTalk before the game starts, because you got it here on WagerTalk, they'll give you credit for this. Ottawa, Vancouver, under 6. Kevin Dolan, thank you for the Friends of Ralph, allowing us to use one of your client plays here at WagerTalk Today.
Ralph Michaels, everybody. Teddy Covers, I'm the Prez. Big shout out to Marco D'Angelo for joining us. Teddy's up next with the opening line report with Drew Martin. And also, guys, make sure to check us out tomorrow, Matthew Barnaby and Dave Sharapan. I hope you guys all had an outstanding weekend. I've got an NBA play up on $9 Monday. I've got an NHL play up on $9 Monday. Teddy, feel free to talk about yourself while you take us home.
This is what I'm going to talk about myself. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the games. Good luck tonight. We'll be back again in 23 hours and 11 minutes right here on WagerTalk Today. Cheers.
Every Monday is $9 Mondays over at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com. Get any best bet or daily package for only $9.